In a disaster with my son having a trach, things go to a whole nother level. When we lose power in the house, which we did, immediately my mind has to start thinking, how much battery power do I have on all his medical equipment? How am I going to get power? And if his airway gets occluded and that suction machine is out of power and he's in respiratory distress, I have no way of saving his life.
This is the story of two moms who filled a gap in disaster relief response, impacting their local disability community. But before we get to the flood of 2016, they were already community organizing. In April 2016, they formed the Trach Mamas.
My name is Angela Lorio. I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I'm Jessica Michaud. I'm from Denham Springs, Louisiana.
Our logo has the name of who we are, Trach Mamas of Louisiana, and it's an outline of our state. And in front of that is an actual tracheostomy tube, which is the center of the lifeline for our kids. That's actually what goes in the hole in their neck straight to their lungs that has allowed our kids to be alive. Trach Mamas of Louisiana started because the two of us have sons that have a trach, and they needed a trach pretty much from birth when they were in the NICU. And we didn't really have any support. We had a lot of questions and not a lot of answers, and we felt very alone and isolated, having the responsibility of keeping our child alive. So we didn't want anybody else to have to experience that. We share our experience, the strength, that we have from learning things the hard way. We're available 24/7. We are there to walk the walk that we've been through to make it easier on the next mom.
August 11, 2016, the rain starts at about 2 to 3 inches per hour. By August 15, Louisiana was declared a state of emergency, and impacted areas included Baton Rouge and Denham Springs. Over 10 rivers were flooding, and as Angela raced to find high ground in Slidell, she passed a highway sign for New Orleans, 65 miles away. The sign was going underwater. Meanwhile, Jessica was stuck in her home with rising waters and in desperate need of supplies. The Trach Mamas became the Flood Mamas.
The weathermen didn't even know what to make of it because this hadn't happened in, 1,000 years. It's one thing to have something coming that you know it's coming. It's another thing to be blindsided. Just had to keep it together. Knowing how many people were caught so off guard with their kids. Did everybody have their equipment plugged in? Did everybody have enough supplies? When did their last DME delivery come in? Were they almost out of stuff the day before and didn't know they were going to have to leave and pack up? We belong to a global network, just a very grassroots Facebook group of moms of trach babies is the name of it. And we just sent out SOS from Louisiana that, we have people, they're flooding. That means you're going to lose all your supplies, all the supplies that are so crucial to keep your child or your family member alive. And after the waters receded enough for people to get through, we had horse trailers showing up full of supplies. We had moms from the tri-state DC area have a barbecue and collect supplies and send their husbands down with U-Haul trucks. And the supplies just kept coming and coming. Another person say, hey, Southwest Airlines Cargo wants to fly the medical supplies in for y'all. So we literally, because they had to weigh it to fly it in, had 2.5 tons of supplies flown in. And we quickly became vital part of people being able to live in this disaster ground zero and get people what they needed. We just brought it to them, whether they were in a shelter or a hotel. We quickly got on the scene and collaborated with FEMA and VOAD and the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs, the Governor's Office of Homeland Security, the ALS Association let us just move into their office.
Once the floodwaters subsided, the disaster continued. 146,000 houses in the region were damaged, including many houses belonging to the disability community. The flood mamas began wading through the aftermath.
The continuing barriers and needs are that everyone's still recovering. We have so many people that either can't get in their house or living in a FEMA trailer or have just moved back into their house. And you have to remember with the air quality, the construction, the sheetrock, all of your village, your support system, they're trying to recover too. You don't have your help you had. That it's 6 months out. In another 6 months, it's still not going to be over. Because yes, we have rescued everyone. Everyone is alive. But if you could wrap your mind around a typical family who loses everything, and then add to that medical supplies, medical equipment, things that are needed to keep your child alive in your home. They lost their bed, but if you're living in a FEMA trailer, you can't fit specialized medical beds in a FEMA trailer. So what do?
We had parents and individuals who took forever for their insurances to approve, and then they needed proof of loss. They would send pictures of their flooded concentrators and say, how is this not proof of loss? Oh, well, we need the ID number on the back of the concentrator. Or one of our parents had a piece of equipment that he could not find, and insurance company did not understand that what happens during a flood is water comes in your house and takes your belongings out of your house. I understand the need for fraud protection, but people were not able to get their medical supplies, not only to live, but to navigate life. We had people waiting on wheelchairs, so they were essentially unable to leave their homes for months. And what we provide, we deliver and connect with all of their needs. So if they call us, we say, okay, what else do you need? It's not all about what medical supplies do you need. It's what else can we help you with?
As air quality became a problem for trach users, the trach mamas put out a call for air purifiers. They received stacks.
Many of our kids started getting sick after the flood. So my son included, due to air quality. And for our kids, a regular cold can land them in the PICU. That trach is the direct line to their lungs. So you're talking about the mold particles, all the air quality was affected. And so we provided everyone in our group with those purifiers. And that was such a blessing for all of our families that reduced illnesses after the flood.
We have guesstimated from all of our records and all reports of all the other organizations that we helped, somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,500 to a little under 3,000 people, and that's still counting because we just got a call yesterday from FEMA of someone in need. One of my biggest passions now is to do everything I can so people like me, my son, having a trach, a feeding tube, and a shunt, will be prepared. And they can rest at ease because no matter what happens, they're prepared and they know what to do.
Our main goal during the flood was started off to save our kids. And then it became very relevant that we had to reach farther. And it's kind of encompassed the whole disabled community. And I think we have the ability, for lack of a better phrase, to kick ass and take names and to speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves and to hold those accountable who need to be held accountable and say, this is what we need and you have to hear us, because we won't be silenced. And I think this flood, we made our voices heard, and I don't think we're going to shut up for a long time.
If anybody out there can relate to anything we said and would like to know more about us, what we do, and help us get other moms to help others, to create an exponential ripple effect of an amazing family, our website is www.trachmamas.org. That's TRACHMOMMAS.org.
This was produced by Stephanie Heidel with co-pilot Darren Moyle for Portlight Inclusive Disaster Strategies. To find out more, go to www.portlight.org.